Hey everyone, welcome back to the launch pad. Well, SpaceX and the FAA seem to have a very interesting relationship. Yesterday, we saw SpaceX move the 8th section of the first orbital launch tower from the production site to the launch site, and it's currently sitting next to the tower, awaiting to be lifted to the top to cap out the main structure of the tower. Still the lightning rod and some other stuff that has to be built, but the main structure will be complete with this 8th section. But did you know that the launch tower is not actually approved, nor is some of the other developments at Starbase? A letter the FAA issued to SpaceX and Elon Musk about 2 months ago has now been found, and it issues them a warning as the launch tower is not approved for building, and they are building the tower at their own risk. The FAA says the environmental review is still in progress, which we talked about a couple weeks ago, and the FAA may issue an order for them to either take it down or make some major changes, not only to the tower, but to some of the other launch facilities as well. The FAA began their environmental review last year of the SpaceX development facility, and while the FAA completed an environmental assessment of the area in 2014, that review was specific to SpaceX's much smaller Falcon series rockets, for a few water towers and a smaller development site. The FAA confirms SpaceX only intended to use the integration towers we're seeing built now for production, research, and development purposes, not for FAA licensed and permitted launches. However, as we saw about a month ago when SpaceX filed plans with the FCC for the first orbital launch attempt, we saw that the tests came from Starbase and would be a fully stacked Starship. In May, SpaceX indicated that they were going to build 2 permanent integration towers at Starbase. The integration towers would be 390 feet, but now they're 480 feet tall, to serve as integration points of Super Heavy and Starship. SpaceX also shared that until the integration towers were complete, they would be using a 450-foot tall crane to stack Starship and Super Heavy. This implies that SpaceX is not using Starbase just for testing and development, but for operational launches, something the FAA has never approved. SpaceX has conducted multiple short test flights of Starship prototypes over the last year with FAA approval because that was for research and development. However, SpaceX needs the FAA to complete their environmental review and issue a new license for them to go to the next level of Starship development. The FAA in the letter reminded SpaceX that their action of developing the towers at the launch site or any other action of furthering the Starship vehicle program would not affect the FAA decision or environmental review or future licensing. They also reserve the right to require changes to the launch site, including the integration tower, should there be ways to mitigate significant impact to the local area. SpaceX and the FAA have quite an interesting relationship. Though this letter was issued 2 months ago, we have seen this launch tower continue to be developed and stacked, so we'll just have to see what happens. We talked about in a previous video how they may be required to do a new environmental case study should the 2014 one deemed not good enough. This could lead to a possible 3-year delay. So we're going to keep monitoring this relationship and the situation between SpaceX, the FAA, and Starbase. Hopefully all goes well and permits are approved so we can continue advancing humanity towards being a multiplanetary species, but also still making sure that the local area is being safe and maintained for wildlife. I will be live this September at Starbase, so if you'd like to support all my work with the Launchpad and continue to be able to bring you guys the best possible coverage of everything space, take a moment, check out patreon.com/thelaunchpad or join as a YouTube member. In return, you get some awesome perks, including discounts in our TLP shop, behind-the-scenes access, early video access, and more. That's all for this update, but make sure you never miss another TLP news update or live launch coverage by engaging that subscribe button. This is Zach, signing off.